Oh, there it is. Now I finally decided to pop up live. How you doing, everybody? Big Kev's World. Got my lovely co-assistant here,
Hello.
Mel, and we have got in the talented and beautiful Brigitte here. So we're going to talk about her the short film you guys recently did, which I have the link in the description. So if any of y'all have not seen this about 10-minute short film, I suggest you go see it, or else I'll come to your house and take your soul, whichever way is certain. I mean, it does say I will take your flesh from you. So,
Now he's being a cannibal now.
Founder of flesh.
Yeah.
So explain to everybody about the short film, and how how your co-partner Mick, Mike, is it Mike or Mick?
It's Mike. Yeah.
Who you guys created? He created this. So how did this all come about?
Okay. So Mike is my co-host of my podcast. So we co-host a podcast together called Hardcore Horror with Mike and Brigitte. Should definitely look that up if you haven't heard it. And we worked a convention in Knoxville last year called CreepyCon. And CreepyCon, it's a little bit different than most of your horror conventions. There's no like horror celebrities like a lot of them have, but it's all about like the local haunts and the killer clowns. There's clowns everywhere. And I've always had a thing, and I'm rocking my Circus of the Dead shirt tonight, but we were there, and he knew that I like killer clown movies, but he saw kind of like how my reaction around these clowns, and I wasn't even in character. And he was like, he's like, you really like clowns, don't you? And I was like, oh yeah, oh my God, yes. And he said, there's not really any movies where the female is a killer clown. And I was like, you're right. Harley Quinn, but I don't think we don't count her.
No.
We don't count Harley Quinn. She's hot and everything. She's badass, but we don't count her. So he just kind of thought of me as like, what do you think? So Mike is actually he's the founder of FauxPasFilms. I was like a tongue twister.
Dude, that's fast.
I know. I was like, oh my God, I'm saying it so backwards right now. He's kicked my ass if you heard me. But so he's done several movies. He actually retired, and he come out of retirement to do this project with me. It's something that I've always wanted to do. And he actually did write a full script for the movie. And we both kind of put our ideas together. So it's his story. I kind of created the character. It's his story. And what we decided to do was just make it a short to see what kind of reaction we'd get out of people, and to see if we could kind of use that to build funds to turn it into a full feature film. So we filmed it in basically one night. We started filming at 3:00, and I think I got home around 6 a.m. that morning, but we did it in one night, and it was a lot of work in one night, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so it started as a short, but our whole idea is to turn it into a full feature. And even a couple months ago, we were like, do we want to turn this into a full feature? Do we want to do it? And I think we have decided that we are going to try to pursue that at the beginning of the year, start kind of campaigning and try to get, see if we can raise the funds to turn it into a full feature.
So, anybody that, like I said, I have in the description is the movie, and also description to you guys' horror podcast where people
yes check us out. Check us out. There's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun filming this little short. I always was curious. The reaction that I get out of people is like priceless. This is one of these ones that I was so nervous to post it on Facebook, because I was like, my mom's gonna see this, and I was waiting for the phone call. I posted it up on Facebook, and I was waiting for the shame phone call, but I never got it. I never got it from her. And she came over for Christmas, and she was like, yeah, my hairdresser saw that video that you posted up. And I was like, what video are you talking about? She's like, the one that you're in, and it's nasty. I was like, oh, I was like, wasn't it great? And she was like, eh. But that's the reaction that I would expect out of my mom. But yeah, she never called me shame me, but yeah, she did bring it up the other day. But what do you expect? So it's fun. It's funny. It's a little sexual, and then it turns totally killer. And so it's got all in 10 minutes. It's a fun 10 minutes.
It is a fun 10-minute movie. It
Yeah.
really is.
I remember we were talking during the summer. We went to go see Tracy's band, and you were telling us, yeah, there was a scene in there. I don't know how he's going to feel.
Yes, he's actually cool with it. So I got into acting from Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy first introduced me to acting, and our first feature film together. He actually kisses my sister. My sister's in it as well, and Tracy kisses my sister, and then he decapitates her. But it's just acting. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, he kissed your sister." I'm like, "Oh, it's a movie. It's just acting."
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that it Michael Tanner Flynn, he was the guy in the short. He's a really good friend of mine. We've been in a couple movies together. We never had scenes together, but we've been in a couple movies together, and he's been on our podcast a couple times, and he's in film school, totally professional, really good friend, and he killed it. I was so happy with his performance. Like, he just made it so funny. And that the whole thing was actually, it was ad lib, and he did such a great job. I was like, all his little clown jokes, I swear I was like rattling off for days. Fun bags, fun bags, fun bags.
Now, have you guys figured out a name for her exactly yet? Or
we haven't yet. So, I have my clown character that's Puddingtane. So I'm Three-Legged Circus's hype clown. So I show up at all their shows, and that's my clown name there. But I didn't want to use that name because Puddingtane's more of a sexy clown that likes rock stars, where this clown, she's more of a killer. And we kind of had, this is actually Mike's idea, and the full script that he wrote, and I don't know if he's going to roll with it or not, but he come up with the name Gemma. And I said, are you a fan of Sons of Anarchy? Because if you ever watched that, Jax's mom, her name was Gemma, and he said, no. He said, you're a Gemini. You have split personalities. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I don't know if he'll roll with that or not. I'll let him pick that out. He's the writer, so.
Right.
But that makes sense, Gemma. That makes sense. Like, since I'm a Gemini. Yeah.
So what was the very first ever clown movie that got you like really into this whole clown phenomenon out there?
Oh my gosh. So I've always liked clowns. I don't know if it's one particular movie, but I've always liked clowns. And when you watch the short, I know you guys have already seen it, and you're going to go back and rewatch it, I'm sure. You'll see some little clown props in the background. One of those is one of my clowns that I had when I was about 5 years old.
Really?
Yeah. I've had it for a long time.
Yeah, I definitely have to go back down.
Yeah.
And there's a little box that's actually here in my office. It's a little box, and you open the drawer up, and it's a little clown dancing. He zooms in on that at the very end of the movie. But that was also mine from a child. So
wow.
I've always had like a clown thing. I always love them. I'm not scared of them at all. I think they're fun. They can be creepy when they want to be creepy. And I don't know. I always liked it. And it got really big when I dressed as Pennywise several years ago. I was helping Tennessee Horror Promotions. I was helping them with marketing, and I came up with an idea at a convention they were working, a horror convention. I was like, hey, I'm going to dress up as Pennywise, because that was, I think, the first Pennywise It movie had came out, the remake, 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. And I got so much attention off of that costume. And I was like, wow. I mean, like, when I say so much attention, I had my picture taken like 60 something times that day. It was really, really fun. But that was the first time I'd ever actually dressed up as a clown.
No.
And now I'm a clown all the time. Clowning's a normal thing for me.
So you just clowning around?
Clowning around. Yep. Yes.
I think the very first ever clown movie for me was the original Stephen King's It. But the one thing that made me laugh more than anything is Killer Clowns of Outer Space.
Yep.
That was the one.
Oh my gosh. Do you know Tracy's son bought me the coolest Killer Clowns from Outer Space plushie? Got it from Hot Topic, and it's like this big. I pulled it out of the package to get it for me for Christmas. I'm like, oh my god! And they got me a Killer Clowns from Outer Space t-shirt. I was like, He is so cool.
That is
so
so
cool.
neat.
Yeah, yeah.
So cool.
That's a good one. Corny as hell, but I mean, they kill people with their cotton candy. It's the greatest thing ever.
And they were walking a balloon doll.
You know, that was probably the best scene, in my opinion, in the entire film is when the clown comes out of the whatever you want to call that, and starts walking his poodle, his blow up poodle dog. Yeah.
Do you remember from that movie the puppet scene? Do you remember the puppets?
Vaguely.
Yes.
Vaguely. All right, I have to show you. I was
Okay.
really proud of these. So I got these. I'd never seen them before, but I got these at a horror convention, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have to have them." Does this ring a bell?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Isn't that the greatest thing ever? I'm like, they're from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Oh my god, I have to have them.
Wow, that is so cool looking.
And they look so innocent, don't they?
Yes, they do.
But they're not. But they're not. Yeah, I love my toys.
You know what you could have did? You could have went Christmas shopping with that. Be like, don't buy it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's hilarious.
Now, we're talking about clowns here. Where were you ranked Art the Clown compared to other clowns out there?
I like Art the Clown. I loved Terrifier the first time that I saw it. If you look like right behind me, let's see if I can move the right way. There he is.
Oh, yes.
See him right here? I'm trying to point like you can really see what I'm talking about. There's Art the Clown back there. From the original Terrifier. I had saw the movie and no one had heard of it. And I loved it so much. In Tennessee Horror, that was right before I kind of got hooked up with them. On my birthday, and I think this was 2018, they did the movie premiere at Full Moon Cineplex in Nashville. And they had David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, like come on Skype and open up the movie. And they let me talk to him since it was my birthday. And no one had heard of this movie. No one had heard of it. And then it hit Netflix and it, got really big. But no, I do like the Terrifier movies. The second one was really good, but there was some things that I thought didn't really go with the movie, but that's just my opinion. But overall, it's still a really great movie, though.
The first one is pretty much Mel's favorite because she likes the fact of how he's smiling at the girls in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Art the Clown is amazing.
And he doesn't talk.
He really is. He doesn't talk, and all he does is smile, and he's just so happy all the time. The entire franchise, I think it's great, and all the different kill scenes are pretty badass in my opinion.
Yeah, what really got me on that one was in the first one where he had the chick hung upside down.
Yes.
Like, oh my god, that is so.
And then he does the split.
Saws her right down the split.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a really good kill scene.
Right.
Yeah. Out of all my favorite killer clowns, I think Papa Corn is my favorite. Have you seen Circus of the Dead?
No.
Oh my god! So my mom bought me this sweatshirt for Christmas, and it's funny because Circus of the Dead come out several years ago, and it's funny. My mom randomly kind of bought this for me for Christmas. And then they just kind of came out that they're coming up with a part 2, Circus of the Dead 2. And Bloody Bill, that's what he goes by, Bloody Bill. He's the director. He's really cool. We had him and Bill Obersh Jr. on our podcast one night, but he plays Papa Corn. So for me to have him on the podcast was such a big deal because he's by far my favorite. He's a clown that actually legitimately creeped me out for sure.
Really?
For sure. So yes, check out Circus of the Dead. It's awesome. It is extreme, so that's your warning going in. It's not for everyone.
I'm into the extremes. You saying called Circus of the Dead?
Yeah, Circus of the Dead. Yeah.
Now I know
another one to add to my list of things that I will eventually watch.
I know some people who are watching right now have Tubi.
Yes.
You guys should also go watch the movie that her and Tracy did on there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's called Deadlines.
And y'all play some vampires on there.
Yes. Yeah,
And
that was a lot of fun. That was my first feature film. I had absolutely no acting experience at all, and I was considered like a featured extra there. But in the very very first scene, I get to kill Dr. Gangrene. I don't know if you know who Dr.
yes,
Gangrene is,
oh
but
yeah,
he's like our local like Elvira. You know, he has a horror show here in Nashville, and so for me get to kill him on screen was really really cool. And he's such a nice guy. I've had him on my podcast also. But he'd ask me, he's like, "Oh, how many of George's movies have you been in?" I was like, "I haven't been in any." He's like, "What other movies have you been in?" I was like, "I haven't been in any." And he's like, he was so cool. He just really welcomed me with open arms and helped me out, and really, really cool guy. But yeah, I got to kill Dr. Gangrene. Yeah, he hits me in the head with a glass bottle, and then I get to kill him. So it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so deadlines. There's the movie poster. The movie poster is like right behind me. That is not me on the movie poster. Just so you know, everybody always asks me if that's me. It is not. It's actually Stacey Dixon. It's actually Stacey Dixon that
Oh, is that who that is?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
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 Okay.
Her tattoos, I think, gives it away for sure.
You guys, well, you know, a lot of people don't really get a chance to know this a lot about horror, but you know, I feel like the horror should have a chance to have an Oscar. I don't know about you, but I feel like they should be nominated in the Academy Awards. They should be.
What?
I think so too, because
Yeah, the horror world, yeah.
I'm thinking like horror movies. As an actress, I would think horror movies would be the most difficult. Maybe. Well, maybe.
I think the fact is that the Academy Awards, like I don't know, like what they're called, like their whole official name is, but I think they just frown upon the horror world because it's not, like they don't have any of their golden children in any of those films, like the Tom Hankses and the Tom Cruises and the Denzel Washingtons, all the elites of Hollywood. None of those people are in any of these horror movies, so they're not. I mean, I would love to see that happen, but I don't think it's ever going to happen.
A lot of the bigger names that we've had on our podcast, the bigger name Hollywood actors and actresses, a lot of the time they're in these like cult classic horror movies. They don't like horror movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't. So, one thing that we love to do on our podcast is movie quotes. I love movie quotes. So we'll always play movie quotes, and whoever's on there with us, whoever we're interviewing, they'll play the game. But a lot of these bigger name celebrities, we don't do the horror quotes because they don't like horror movies. They wouldn't know the quotes. So it's just kind of crazy to me. So crazy and interesting.
So, like, here's some advice for some people. Like, if anybody wants to start a horror podcast, what would be your advice to them?
My advice would be to just be yourself. Be yourself and have fun. That's what I do. And believe it or not, I've had so much fun doing this. I'm like, people are like, "Hey, what do you do for fun?" I'm like, "Well, I watch horror movies and I co-host a horror podcast every other weekend." It's like everybody else is going out on Saturday nights and I'm sitting at home doing a podcast, but I love it. I love talking about horror movies. Find a topic that you love. Find a topic that you love and talk about it. When we first started the podcast, we were trying to kind of incorporate like anything related to horror. So horror movies, haunts, haunted houses, paranormal, anything that had to do with horror. We were trying to kind of put it all in there, but it always seems to kind of go back to movies a lot of the time. But we have had a couple of horror authors on our podcast, but yeah, it's just being yourself. Find a topic that you really like and give it your all. And my job between the two of us, between Mike and I, my job is I find the people to interview and he does all the editing of the podcast. I'm still trying to get him to do video. He's a movie director, so he likes to be behind the camera where I want to be in front of the camera. So I haven't quite got him there just yet, but I'm working on it though. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Have you, like, when you go to these conventions, do you ever get a chance to ask some of the actors that are there if they would want to be a part of the podcast
Yeah. So I do, and I have gotten a lot of interviews from just talking to actors and directors when we work the conventions. There was a guy that we met at it was the Georgia Pop and Horror Con. He was a manager, and he come over our booth and he was talking to us, and he got us featured on a few podcasts, and he hooked us up with some really, really good names just because he liked Tracy and I, and he's like, you guys have a really cool personality and a really good look. And so Tracy doesn't have anything to do with the podcast. So just so everyone kind of knows, we dabble in a little bit of everything. Tracy is the lead singer of Three-Legged Circus. And that's where I dressed up as a clown. But we also, we work horror conventions. We love horror so much that we just kind of come up with the name Three-Legged Circus Oddities. And so we go and work these conventions just to meet people, and it's just a lot of fun. We make a little bit of money doing it, not a lot, but a little bit. But we just love people, and we love getting out there and meeting new people. And it's based around horror. It's even better,
It's pretty badass.
Now, now with your girl clown character, is there a couple of horror actor icons that you would love to act with and maybe even get a chance to kill?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Females or males?
Both.
Oh shit. Well, one would be if I was going to get murdered by someone, I think it should be Papa Corn, because my acting skills would probably be so spot on, because I'd probably legitimately be freaked out. And it's funny you say that, because when they kind of announce that they're doing a Circus of the Dead 2, they're having a contest where you can get involved and sign up and win a chance to be in the film and get killed in the movie. And I did sign up for that yesterday, so we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I was like, it's a long shot, but dude, you can't catch fish if you're not fishing, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So that would be pretty fun. And for me to kill someone, let's see. I mean, it'd have to be like somebody badass. Really, any of the awesome like killer clowns would be fun. Even though those are like my homies. Those are like my homies. Don't kill the killer clowns. No, I don't know. Like, gosh, that's a really hard question, and I've never been asked that before. So that was a really good question. But if I could be killed by anyone on a screen, it'd definitely be Popcorn. Yeah.
Could you picture your clown character killing Kane Hodder?
Yeah, sure. Kane's gotten pretty skinny. Did you notice that?
I noticed.
I could probably take him on now.
I wonder what's going on with him.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you and Tracy have Paramount, but you may not want to see this movie. Me and Mel watched this movie that's based off the Friday the 13th thing called 13 Fanboy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I was like, can I just take the last hour and 45 minutes of my life back, please?
Oh, you didn't like it? So when we were watching that, we were working at a horror convention, and we'd worked all day, and we're like, oh, let's just see. We're at a hotel. We're like, let's just see what's on. And that was on. I don't remember. Maybe it was Paramount or something. But so you didn't like it. You didn't like it. It had like all the Kane Hodder was in it, and you had a lot of names in it, and then they were actually getting killed.
Nope, just didn't do anything for me.
And I remember they had Dee Wallace in there. They also had C.J. Graham that played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 6.
Yeah,
he was in there as well. And they had a couple of Friday the 13th like characters in there, like actors that were in.
Yeah, it was just one movie that I just didn't like at all.
But you're a huge like Friday the 13th. You're really a big fan of the franchise.
I love the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yep.
Jason's literally one of my favorite horror icons of all time. When I saw the movie, I'm like, what is that? I didn't even know what was going on.
That might be why. Was that movie made by a fan or no?
It was made by one of the actors of the Friday 13th. Like, they wrote the script.
I mean, I don't know. They're like from start to finish. I like literally was waiting because he said he wanted to watch the whole thing, and I'm like, fine. And I was waiting by the second for each minute to pass just so it could be over, because I was just like, this. I don't know what. Bad. You know,
That's,
I felt like
that
the
is
acting
bad.
was terrible. The writing was terrible. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this film right now?
I think you know what
that's just me.
You know what I always thought would be cool is almost like a Devil's Rejects kind of movie, but you have female killers, and I think you and Bridget would be the two that would be.
Yeah, but you see, the problem
Killing
with
people.
me though is the fact that I'm way too sliced and diced, and I would murder somebody and probably legitimately not. You know, I'm just saying I have too much of a weird mind.
Yeah. Have you seen anything good that you like? Any new horror movies I need to add to my list?
Well, we saw The Nun too.
Did you like it? I didn't see it. I didn't even see the
it's
first one. How bad is that?
You need to see the first one. You need to see the first one. Yeah, we saw The Nun too. That was like several weeks ago. I think we saw that in theater, didn't we?
We saw it on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else we've seen. Well, you see, I mean, it's been, you know, the holiday season and all that kind of stuff, so we really haven't been watching anything horror related lately. But
oh, you gotta change that.
I know, right? Well, I mean, I try and watch.
I was working so much there, and then I was like, and then like right before Christmas, it was like everything we were watching was like all like horror Christmas movies. And I got so tired, like, I don't want to see another killer Santa Claus. I got so tired of killer Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
Oh, where you have the one where you have like Jack. Not okay. When I mentioned Jack Frost, people, I'm not talking about the one with Michael Keaton. I'm talking about the one where there's actually a Jack Frost that's killing people.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I watched that for the first time last year. I know, shame on me, right? And I really liked it.
Okay, so you see, we're in the same boat here. I'm just saying, there's even some things we haven't even seen yet. We should, but sometimes some people, you know, take their sweet ass time.
I know that sounds like Tracy and I. We always have to agree on a movie to watch, and like so I took off all week and he was working, and I was like, I'm gonna watch a horror movie with subtitles because he hates watching, he hates reading subtitles. But a lot of your hi, he's peeping. Hey, you can come in and say hello. Oh, he's saying hello.
Hi, see what a creeper. He's creeping.
Hey, Jace.
You say Merry Christmas. Christmas over.
I heard you talking shit about me, so
Busted.
Maybe a little bit.
It's all right.
You ain't talking bad about Sebastian, are you?
Oh no, never talk bad about Sebastian.
Never talk bad about Sebastian.
Don't do that.
I love Sebastian.
I'm sure you do.
I sure do. Yeah, he's not even a Gemini, but Tracy definitely has those. He's got that alter ego in there sometimes. It's funny. He'll randomly do something like, "Oh Lordy, here comes Sebastian." Sebastian's coming out.
Probably the last word is Evil Dead rank. I don't know what that means, but
Where the new Evil Dead ranks. I would say that the new Evil Dead. I actually agree with Bridget. I think the one from 2013 was a little better.
I do too.
More, you know,
I love the new one. But I did like the 2013 a little bit better.
Have you seen Smile? Have you guys seen Smile?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Mm-hmm. There is one on Paramount Plus that we haven't watched yet, but it's supposed to be a prequel to the Pet Sematary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Again, there's movies
that
that are stacking up that we'll eventually see. Hopefully, we can start watching in the next couple of days if we have off until the end of the year. So we have some catching up to do, sir.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's on your list next? What are you watching next? Do you know?
Oh yeah.
I think Mel really wants to see that Exorcist movie just to see.
Yeah, I just want to see it just to say I saw it.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, and it is good to form your own opinion. I think it's good to form your own opinion. There's a lot of movies that some people like. You know, the movie that made my most disappointing, the number one on my most disappointing list was Skinamarink. Did you guys see that?
No.
Okay, it made a lot of people's top 10 for 2023. It made my number one most disappointing horror movie of the year. It was awful. It was so terrible. I couldn't even make it through the whole damn movie. It was that bad.
Did you see the new horror Grinch movie?
No, did you see it?
No, we haven't yet.
So now
But
Mel,
that's one I'm actually interested in seeing. Too.
Mel actually saw the Winnie the Pooh horror film.
Yes.
Oh, I did too. I loved it.
Believe it or not,
Yeah,
I actually kind of liked it.
No, I thought I was like, I'm just gonna watch it because
I'm
it's
going
like,
to watch my childhood go down the crapper, but that's okay.
yes,
You know?
yeah.
I'm just waiting for them to make a Tom and Jerry horror film. I'm just waiting for it.
See,
Tom and Jerry.
See, the thing is that people are going to trash certain horror films, but when they trash them, I want to watch them just to see how trashy it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's a
I
lot
guarantee you, I think you'll be on the same page as me if you watch Skinamarink. I just couldn't believe that it made some people's favorite list. Oh my god! Oh, it was so bad.
I like I said, there's a list of movies that we have to get into and catch up on.
I know this year in 2000. Well, coming up next
Actually,
year.
I'm gonna put that in my phone too.
Coming up next year, I know there's a new Strangers film.
Yes,
supposed to be happening.
I might be a prequel, but I'm not sure.
It might be a prequel to it, but
okay.
Now,
Mike and I were talking about a lot of the movies that are supposed to come out in 2024, and he started rattling them off on the last podcast. I was like, a lot of these are either remakes or like a part 2 or part 3 or part of a franchise. I was like, is there any new ideas? Are we running out of ideas? Is that what's happening? Because so many of them are remakes.
That's the problem. Is that it's the originality of what once were good writing, good acting, things like that. So
that's why I really like Shudder, because we saw a lot of great independent films on Shudder.
I love Shudder,
and they're really.
And I'm thinking about eventually bringing that back.
Yeah,
I just brought it back. Yay!
Yeah,
I was like, this. I'm getting my damn Shudder back, and I'll love it. I'm like, what is it, like $5 a month?
Shudder.
Yes, Shudder. Yeah, we love Shudder. Screenbox. I have a really hard time with Screenbox. Like, it won't work on.
Oh my god, I haven't heard that name in so long.
Screenbox. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, they've made, like, they used to be really crappy, but they have a lot of pretty good movies on there now. But I can't ever seem to get the damn app to work on my Fire Stick. It's so dumb.
Hey, you know what's interesting, Bridget? I don't know if you remember. I know you're at the age to remember this, but what was great about Blockbuster back then is you go into the horror section and you can get 5 movies for $5 for 5 days.
Well, you could go into any part of the
it
store and
was
get any 5 movies for $5 for a whole week.
And they used to have really good collections of Blockbuster too. You're like, that
was Blockbuster. That was my very first job. I'm like, God, I miss that place.
Was it? That's fun. That is so fun. I remember being a kid and going to like the video store. Even like a little kid, I would go straight to the horror section, and it was all about the cover. What does the cover look like? You wouldn't know what the hell the movie looked like. Yeah, I'd pick movies based off of the damn cover.
I mean, the first movie, like I said, the first movie that I watched when I was a kid that my dad showed me when I was like, I think maybe 2 or 3, possibly 4 at the latest, was The Thing.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
You showed me that movie, and man, I had nightmares for weeks after that.
Yeah, that's a brutal. I watched that as an adult for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on this like kick right now where I'm really into like body horror. I'm loving body horror movies right now.
Watching Human Centipede. You've seen the Human Centipede, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, now that's like extreme body horror for sure.
Or snuff film.
No, there's Snuff.
Yeah, I've seen all 3 of them. Yeah.
There's Snuff 101. There's what is it?
Well, there's actually it's interesting.
Serbian film.
It's actually interesting that you brought up The Thing, because Kurt Russell, I was reading an interview with him. He wants to do a Thing too, because he wants to see what happened to Kurt Russell and them on that thing after the movie ended.
Oh yeah.
And he thinks there's a big plot hole that's missing right there.
Okay.
So I mean,
all right. I mean, I personally don't think they should remake it into anything that it really was, because it was that's a classic right there. Well, then again, they did remake it, obviously, but still, I don't know.
Now we did see Saw X in the theaters.
Did you see that? Okay, cool. Okay, so I have that one on my list. It's one that there's so many movies. I couldn't check all of them off my list for 2023. That was one that I wish I would have checked off before we picked our top 10, because that made
Yeah.
Billy.
Love that.
He
Love.
got- I don't know where he got him from. I was like, look at those little sparkly shoes. He's so cool.
You know what would have been super cool is if all of a sudden the doll started talking and say, "Hey, I want to play a game."
Oh man. Oh, that would be
That would have been amazing.
I'll tell you this much about the movie: it's a lot different than the other Saw movies. It's got this, it's same, but the story is a lot different.
Yeah, it's if I was to rank it,
Mhm.
it's not my 100% favorite.
Mhm.
I think I feel as though because the Saw franchise has always been my favorite franchise ever since I saw the first one in theater.
Mhm.
But I felt like I'm just gonna go with the kill scene was a little bit too. They could have done better with it. That's all I can say. For the Saw franchise itself, for what you see in all the different movies and everything like that, they could have done better with the kill scenes. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair.
That's just me.
Fair.
That's my opinion. So
But-
I was rather kind of, I will rank it in my, from a scale of 1 to 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, I will give it about a 4.5, 5 maybe. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, are you a fan of Scream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fans of Scream? Okay, so I've never really been real big into the Scream franchise. I saw the first one. I love the first one, but I remember when the second one came out, I was like, oh, kind of same thing. And I never watched it. I don't know why. I just didn't ever watch it. And I did watch the fifth one, and I recently watched the sixth one, and I liked it. I legitimately liked it, but I was like, damn, I feel like I missed out on some of the story because it intertwines with all the other Scream movies. And I didn't really get some of the references because I hadn't seen a lot of the other ones. So I was like, man, one weekend I'm gonna sit and like binge like all of them, all 6 of them in like a couple days. I was like, that'd be pretty fun to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, all your time of acting, Bridget, have you ever had do you like playing the good girl that gets killed, or are you like murdering people?
Probably both. So I've been in, I guess, three films now. My first one I was a villain. The one we did recently as a villain. The second one, which hasn't even premiered yet, but it's called All the Ends. It's about an apocalypse, and I was not a villain in this movie, and but I agreed to be in it because the movie is very gory, and my death scene is crazy. I cannot wait to see my death scene. We were filming it at a park in Hendersonville, and I'll just tell you that I was hanging from a tree, and the police showed up.
Oh shit.
Oh,
I was like, "There's cameras all around." It was nighttime. They're like, "Hey, this chick's like hanging from a tree." So, but I wasn't a villain in that movie, but I had a lot of fun. When I read the script, I didn't like my character. I thought she was like the dumb blonde. I didn't like her at all until I started playing her and really becoming her. I started liking her character a little bit more. She started getting a little bit more ballsy, and I did end up liking her character. So I'll let everyone know when that one comes out. I mean, it should be coming out really at the beginning of this next year. I would think in 2024, but I'll make sure to let everybody know.
That's interesting. Anytime you ever try to film a horror film in like in a park or something like that, there's always people walking by thinking you're killing somebody, and
I'm like, don't you see all the lights and the cameras around?
There's a question for you. We have a person in the chat asking, do you only do horror movies?
That's all I've ever done. I mean, I'd probably do something not horror related, but I'm such a horror fan. That's kind of like what got me into it. So I'd like to stick with horror, but I would be open to doing any acting, just because I love film so much.
Well, it's a good question because we all 3 talked about doing a short film.
Yeah.
And it is horror, but it's also more suspense thriller, which I know Mel loves suspense thrillers. So I don't want to give too many details to people because I don't want them to know all the way. But I'll just say this much: let's just say that two girls go to a horror convention and they win a contest. They get to stay somewhere really lavish, but everything is not what it appears.
Yep.
To be. So I can't really go into any further details than that, but they know. You guys just won't get to know.
Yep.
And we called the movie Trapped. I mean, actually, you came up with the name Trapped.
I did.
So
I also wrote it too.
Yeah.
That's why it's so sick and twisted, because Mel wrote it. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
I'm
just
like, man,
fucked up in the head, girl.
I'm telling you, when we did the Myers versus Voorhees film, I know we talked about it on y'all's horror podcast. But when we wrote that, when Mel wrote that, she was drinking and smoking, and that's a bad combination.
Well, no. It wasn't the fact that I was smoking and drinking. I just, the one thing I enjoy about, I haven't written anything in a long time. Like, I haven't legitimately written like a story, except for the one that I did for us, in a long time since that one that we did together. And I have to, I kind of have to be a little bit buzzed. I have to be in the right frame of mind to do something like that. So if I'm not, then it just won't come out right.
Mm-hmm.
And when we did the Myers versus Voorhees films, the one scene in particular that we really wanted to do,
we couldn't do it because we didn't have the budget for it.
She really wanted, when I was playing Michael at the time, she really wanted me to cut the asshole's dick off and shove it in his mouth. But we didn't have that budget to do so.
Actually, I think it might have been Jason, but that's
it was Jason.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come over there and chop him.
We
just didn't have the budget for it. So.
And then
that's the thing about horror movies is the budget. So that's why for Klownin, we were like, hey, let's just do a little short and see if we can use that to try to start a campaign to raise funds for a full feature film. Because if you want to do, like, we have a dream that if we can make this a reality, this dream a reality, and really do a full feature film, we want to do it extreme. We want an extreme horror. If you want to do extreme horror, you're going to have a lot of special effects. With special effects, you got to have a lot of money to do, to do the things that you want to do. Klownin didn't cost anything at all. We were really proud of that. We were really proud that it didn't cost anything at all. We pulled our resources together and pulled it off. And like even where I sliced his throat open and the bite, it's crazy. The flesh, when I'm trying to spit his flesh out. I hate that scene, but Mike used it because it worked. So the flesh got caught in my teeth. So I'm like,
ooh,
trying to get it out. It was caught in my teeth. I was like, that is so terrible. It's so nasty. It's like, I'm using it. I was like, wow. So, but that's legit. You have to have a lot of money to do the things that you want to do to make the film the way you want to make it. It's all about how much money you have. Because if you want a lot of blood and a lot of gore, there's a lot of special effects, a lot of money, Yep. The dick scene would have been cool, though, by the way. That would have been pretty cool.
Yes, it would have been great. If it had literally gone as planned, it would have been perfect.
And the other plan we have was taking me and Jason and Michael, we're going to take the one girl and they were going to rip her arms off. Like they were trying to pull on her. And they were going to rip her apart with her arms off. And I just thought, well, we ain't got that. So what do we do? So I decided to stick her in the dryer. So I was like,
you had to improvise a little bit with
I had to improvise on that one. But I was actually shocked because the girl was actually able to fit in the dryer. I was like, all right.
I mean, one of the guys that we worked with or whatnot was pretty much predominantly high the entire time that he was filming with us. Like the whole time. And one of the scenes that he's like, that he comes into, you can clearly see, plain as day, that his eyes are bloodshot and everything. And he looks into the camera, like looks directly into the camera, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just, whatever. But I mean, it's hilarious. But it worked, so.
And the one person
should have been like, man, at least you some Vaseline or something.
Right, yeah.
Something to take the red out.
And one person who helped make that film fun was Santiago Cirillo.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I forgot that you guys worked with him. He's really cool. So we had him on our podcast. I met him at a horror convention in at Connuga in Chattanooga, and he's a really cool person. He's a really great guy. I think you might be frozen. There you are.
I don't know what happened.
I was like,
Yeah, we lost
like I
internet.
could see the little wheels
We
spinning.
literally lost internet connection for like 10 seconds.
Well, no, but what was cool was that Cirillo and this other guy Kenny, they both done acting, and Cirillo decided to let us use his acre of land in his house, and he was really cool about
He
it.
had more than 1 acre of land, trust me.
No, he had a lot. Yeah.
You could literally hide bodies in his backyard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean his where he lives at, it's about maybe 45 minutes northwest of here. And when we went to his house to film this movie, we went to his backyard. He had a couple ATVs. We got on and everything. He showed us around his entire land. Man, like I said, you could hide bodies on his land, on his property.
And there's actually a blooper scene where I'm riding on the AV. I'm riding on the AV on the ATV, full of Michael gear on.
Yep.
My mask and all, just kind of.
We had a lot of fun with that movie. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've got a pretty cool picture of you in the back of our hearse wearing your Jason Voorhees mask.
Right?
It's a badass picture too, and I've got a picture of you sitting back there. And I was like, and it is so pretty. It's like the prettiest. I mean, I know you're in the back of a hearse. It's pretty, but it had like you. It's. Just, I think I gave you a copy of it. I was like, it's such a pretty picture.
Yeah.
There's actually, mentioned about the Jason thing. I've always wanted to do an independent film with Jason, and I know I've been wanting Mel to help me write it because I really want to do something.
He really wants to be able to come out of the water, like really, like slowly, like the whole Freddy versus Jason end scene or whatever. He really wants to come out of the water slowly and all that kind of stuff in his Jason get up gear and such. So I'm like, okay, well,
I already have the vision of how I want my Jason costume to look like. What I want to.
He's got it all down pat. It's just a matter of the green light, you know.
And
yeah, that's
I
cool.
always wanted to do like a Jason thing at Christmas. Like it'd be kind of just like almost around the Christmas.
You mean
season.
Saturday the 14th?
No. I always want to do like a Christmas thing, like see if Jason kills someone, like hanging them up on a tree or putting a Christmas ornament on them, and just.
That's awesome. Tracy went and bought one of those 12-foot skeletons.
Yeah, I know. We saw that
after Halloween. After Halloween, this is like when we're putting up Christmas stuff, and he's like, "I'm gonna put this in the front yard." I'm like, "Let's not put it in the front yard." He's like, "I'm gonna put it in the front yard." I was like, "Let's not do that." So the agreement was that I said I get to put a Santa hat on him, and then I went and got him the string of lights. So the skeleton's holding lights. He's got the Santa hat on. He actually looks really cool out there. So I'm glad that worked out good.
There's somebody that lives about maybe 10 minutes from here that has that exact skeleton statue.
Yeah.
Or
do they have a Santa hat on it?
No, but it was still. It looked predominantly.
Should I tell her what my idea was for the holidays? I wanted to get one of those Krampus.
Yes, you can.
I wanted to get one of those Krampus. Little Tronic.
You wanted to get a Krampus statue and basically have eating a child on the front lawn. I'm like, dude, I don't know about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be cool, but I can't.
Your neighbors would probably be like, "Oh my god!" That's why my neighbors
had somebody last year with a fucking hearse, and now they have this on their front.
I know. When we pulled up at your house, your neighbors like come outside and we're like, "Oh shit!" By the way, your neighbors were like coming out. So we, my boyfriend, it's his, it's not mine. He drives a hearse. And it draws a lot of attention, but it's a cool ass car. It's a cool car. You could buy them relatively cheap with not a lot of miles on them, so it was a pretty good buy. But yeah, but we do creep people out when we go places.
Like, shopping for food, all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, the first grocery trip, I even videoed it. Yeah, I was like, we were walking out to the car, the hearse, the groceries, and I was like, I'm gonna go sit in the car, because I didn't want anybody to see me. I'm gonna go sit in the car, and I saw this guy like walking over, like starting to approach us, and I was sitting in the car, so I got out my video camera. And I heard him go, "Oh, hell no, he's putting the groceries where the bodies go." And I was like, that's the funniest thing. Crazy.
Oh my God.
You know what I
That's
really
great.
want? You know what? You know what I would really like to do, and this would be like a prank. Probably sometime next year. Get one of those lab coats. Pull out and go in the back of the hearse. Pull out the casket. Open it up, and it's Sebastian.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, I'd be like, and actually go to a store like that. People would be like, hell no. We ain't letting y'all in. Nope.
Yeah, that is so funny. There were so many cool things. Halloween was a lot of fun at this house for sure. It's the my daughter, let my daughter have she's 17. I let her have a Halloween party a weekend before. I was like, you can have a Halloween party. That way, on actual Halloween can be about us. But Tracy and I dress as we dress up for the trick-or-treaters. And like we probably have legitimately the creepiest house in the entire neighborhood on Halloween. We get out the lights, we pull all the animatronics and put them outside, and I play the creepy ass music. My favorite is the score from Creepshow. It's like my favorite score. It's the creepiest music ever. And we had so much fun, but a bunch of people found out. I had people call me going, "Are you having a Halloween party?" I'm like, "No. But we ended up having about 30 people over here. It was crazy, but we had so much fun. And I didn't dress as a clown. I was like, I'm not dressing as a clown this year. I want to be different. So I wanted to be the angel of death. So I had like the wings and the red eyes, and I pieced that whole costume together. Yeah, we're very theatrical. We love dressing up.
Oh, we definitely need to go visit them at that.
Yes. Yeah, I even got this year I made a big deal. I was like, I've got goodie bags, these big ass bags, and I filled them with all kinds of candies and like little toys for all the kids and light up sticks and all kinds of stuff. And like we went really, really big. And my favorite moment of the night was, and Tracy had went inside because we started running on candy in my bags. So he went inside to get some more, but this kid come down, he had to have been maybe 15, 16 maybe. He was like, "I love Three-Legged Circus." I was like, "Oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever." Where's Tracy at? And he was nowhere around. And we had the kids were lining up, so I couldn't talk to him further. But when he was leaving and walking up the driveway, he was like, "Three-Legged Circus rocks." I was like, "Whoa."
That is so cool.
I was like, "That is the biggest thing ever." Yes, those were pretty cool. That was really neat.
Yeah, we do. We definitely like Three-Legged Circus too.
Yes, me too. Me too.
And with Tracy doing all that stuff, it goes back to the time where I used to be in a band. It makes me want to go back and do it again, just because I'm like, man, he gets to do all the fun things. And then it's actually fun being up there. There's nothing like it. And I can tell Tracy has a hell of a time doing it.
Yeah. It's funny because, he's done so much acting. Like, I've just done this much. He's done like this much. And he was pretty much on set with me every day that we were filming all the ends. And he even told me one night, he was like, "Wow," he's like, "This is a lot of fun." He's like, "It kind of makes me want to get back into acting again." And he's so damn good at it. I don't know why. And music is more his thing. Like the horror movies is more my thing, and the music is his. And I think he started getting into acting to kind of promote his music career. But he turns out he's great at it. And then Sebastian Michaels was created, and the rest is history.
Yep.
Someone asked on here, do you like dark comedy?
Dark comedy? Sure, yeah. Absolutely. Give me some.
More or less, where do you rank dark comedy?
Yeah, where you rank? Sorry,
like a horror comedy.
Yeah, kind of like dark.
I guess so.
I love them. That's why we try to make.
I'm trying to find these movies that you were talking about with me.
Oh yeah, go for it. So that's why we try to make it our little short. It's a little funny. Try to put some humor in there. Um, what's the movie called? It's one of my favorites, and it's almost more funny than it is a horror movie. But it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yes.
Love it.
That's like one of those movies I could watch like 100 times
I
and
can watch that
still laugh at
over and over and over again. And
right?
never
Oh,
get
so
tired
Bridget,
of
I
it.
have to tell you this. When we first saw it, this girl right here cracked up so bad when that guy went for the wood chipper. I'm like, because it was just like he said.
No, it was more like when I think it was Dale going, we just had one doozy of a day.
Yeah.
All these college kids just keep killing
Keep
themselves.
killing herself. Okay, they must be in a pack because they're committing suicide. That movie is funny.
If it
No,
was-
that is
funny, but
literally one of the best,
Yeah.
if not the best, in my opinion.
well, there's
yeah,
also
the dark comedies out. So I consider myself a horror enthusiast. So I like all genres of horror.
So we've got Circus of the Dead on Prime.
yes, we can see that.
Yes, check it
Watch
out.
it. I'm gonna save it. Fuck it.
Yep.
It's awesome. Yeah, you can also follow Circus of the Dead on social media and Bloody Bill. Bloody Bill, Billy Pons, the director, and I follow him on social media. He's really fun, really fun. He was so much fun to have on the podcast, and his swag is so awesome. This hoodie is damn, it's so soft. I love it. I love it. Love it. But the movie is Mel, you will love it. I guarantee it.
What, Circus of the Dead?
Guarantee it.
Okay,
Mhm.
I believe
Guarantee
that.
it.
There's also another comedy horror that we saw. Like we saw what her dad likes to watch horror films, and we were watching Attack of the Killer Donut.
Oh wow.
I mean, now they had this thing on Netflix. I didn't get to see it, but I wanted
So
to.
is it a Facebook page or is it a group?
It's a page.
Okay.
There was a thing on
Is
Netflix.
it that?
Yes, it looks like it. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like it.
You see it? Okay. Okay.
I really wanted to see. They had it on Netflix a long time ago, but I really wanted to see the zombie beaver. I never got a chance to saw it, but I just wanted
Zombie beaver.
Now, there's a friend of ours that told us there's a thing on Tubi called Thanksgilling where the turkey's killing people.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I haven't got a chance to see that yet. I keep telling them we're going to, and I'm like, I got to see this Thanksgilling. Why not?
I'm still tripping on the zombie beaver.
Just the name alone, right?
Yeah, I have a movie on my list. I haven't watched it yet called Zombie Oral Sex. But I don't know if it's a comedy or not. I think it's more extreme, but that's what it's called, is zombie oral sex.
If you really want to see a comedy horror film,
Mhm.
that one movie we watched with the German Nazi zombies.
Oh, Dead Snow.
Dead Snow 2.
Oh, Dead Snow. I love Dead Snow 2 is my favorite of the
Yeah,
of
Dead
the-
Snow 2 is my favorite as well. I love the sidekick character.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
this.
I actually own that movie. I like it so much. I own that one. Yeah.
That one was funny. I mean, there's a little good dark comedy. But then again, though, if you watch a regular horror film, there is something funny to it. Like if you go like the Friday 13th Part 6, there's a point where the girl's in there and Jason stabs her. Yep. Oh, that's on Hulu.
Rink on Hulu.
All
there
right.
we go. Now we're all set.
All right, cool.
Are you the one that told us about Aftermath the last time we talked to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to find that one. It's a little bit hard because there's different
It's on
movies.
It's on YouTube.
Is
I
it?
watched it on YouTube, and it's 1994, and that's another short. It's like maybe 30 minutes long, but whew,
Okay.
it's an intense
All right.
30 minutes.
I guess I'll have to watch. I find it on YouTube then.
Well, I got
Have
to,
you watched Vampire Jesus yet?
I've never even heard of that one.
I've never heard of that either.
Oh, we have a friend that looks like Jesus, so that might.
Yeah, we do.
So that might work.
What about psychological horror? God, I love
Psychological horror. Yes.
psychological
Yes.
horror is legitimately one of my favorite parts of the horror franchise, period. I just love psychological. Anything that fucks with your mind and makes you want to think, and is based on true stories, things like that.
Whenever you guys
Love
get a chance to see the film that we're all going to do, you're going to see a lot of psychological horror in it. And it'd be because this one over here wrote it. But I mean, that's the.
Well, I mean, it's not just about me writing it. It's about the people that bring the characters to life.
Right.
You know, and what they can do with it. So.
What is y'all was like?
Vampire Jesus is your favorite prodigal? Cool.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite psychological horror, Brigitte? Since we're on that.
Ooh, gosh. Ooh, that's hard because there's so many good ones.
Name just
Damn.
one that you like.
Yeah.
How about that? Don't name your favorite. Just name one that you
Yeah,
like.
just one you like.
Let's see. Let me think of a really, really good one. I love those because I love it that you wrote something that's psychological because I'd love to write something psychological, but I'm not that creative. Like, I'm like, how does a writer even think of this shit? You know? Psychological horror. I like The Sixth Sense. That was pretty psychological. That's an old one. Put me on the spot. I could have you a pretty good list if I sit down and think about it. What's another good one? Anything that's psychological thriller killer. I love those. Sexual. Tracy calls them psychological sexual thriller killer movies. And I love those. We watched a movie just the other night. And it was really good. I'd never seen it before. We got on this whole psychological kick. Sexual psychological movies. What was it? I think that one was called, it was called Dream Lover, maybe. Have you seen that one? It's really old. Really, really old. Like 93, I think. Let's see. What are some of your favorites, Mel?
Well, I really like Signs. I really like mainly anything M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
I also love the Quiet Place movies. A Quiet Place.
I don't know if I've seen those. Or not.
Watch those too.
Okay.
Quiet Place.
I'm writing it on my list right now.
Yeah, A Quiet Place.
Is there more than one?
There's two.
There's two.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's two. Okay.
Yes, there's two.
Okay.
And
what year did those come out?
oh shit.
Two came out 2021.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other one came out in maybe 2019, but let me check real fast. Because we went to go see the first one in theaters on my birthday.
Okay.
Quiet Place. Okay, the first one came out in 2018. So I was a year off.
Okay.
You know what? You know what? One of my favorite psychological horror films are. It is actually psychological.
And the second one came out in 2020.
Okay.
I actually like What Lies Beneath.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I saw that in the movie theater. God, years ago.
That is a very good movie.
Yeah, that one's pretty. And actually, have you guys got a chance to see any of the Jordan Peele movies? Y'all seen Up and Eyes. Oh shit! I can't even remember the names now off the top of my head. But most of the Jordan movies, huh?
Who's the director of it?
Jordan
Peele.
It sounds familiar. The movie Up is on my list, but I haven't seen that one.
There's okay. I'm gonna give you a couple.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I should look it up.
Okay. I shouldn't have to, but I need to because I just can't remember them all off the top of my head. I'm getting old. So
dude, that's me too. I'm like, oh my God. We've got so many. It's
Get Out. Then it's not Up. It's Nope.
And
I have seen it. There's a movie called Up. But Nope, I've seen. I wasn't a big fan of that one. I think the coolest part of that movie was like when the blood was coming down the house.
Yeah.
That was the coolest part. Get Out, I did like that. Was psychological.
Get Out
That was very psychological, and that was a good movie, I thought.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yes.
What about Silence of the Lambs? Is that's considered that'd be psychological, right? Sort of.
Yes,
that's a freaking cult classic. Love that movie.
If you want, would you guys consider Psycho a psychological thriller, or would you consider that just horror?
That's
like American Psycho?
No,
like the action movie Psycho with
yes, I think so. I didn't even think about that, but I think it is.
anything with any kind of mental
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
mental.
We have to
awareness
ask you
and
though, Bridget.
everything.
Did you and Tracy ever get a chance to watch the Bates Motel show?
I did watch that. I watched that years ago. Tracy has never seen it, but I was a huge fan of that show. I loved it. I
I
can't
love
remember
I
the
love
lady's
Frank
name that
Michael.
played his mom. The lady that played his mom.
Vera
She was
Farmiga.
awesome actress.
Yes, she is.
Amazing. She was in all the
Yeah.
Conjuring movies, and
Yeah.
God, she's really great. Really great.
And
But
her
did you watch the
sister-
show? Did y'all like it?
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
and
yeah.
her youngest sister plays the nun.
Oh, really?
She
Did
plays
not know that.
well. She plays in the nun. I should say she doesn't play the nun, but she plays in the nun. So
Mhm.
as like the main, female
Antagonist.
antagonist. Yeah.
Okay.
So yep.
Cool. Right on.
You got. I mean, there's a lot of.
There's so many things we could discuss with all of that, but it would probably take until 2:00 in the morning. So obviously.
Oh man, that's the thing is that's why we talk about movies a lot on the podcast because damn horror, it's like all genres of movies, it's oversaturated. Like I made a huge point to say on our last podcast when we were rattling off our top movies of 2023 and our least most disappointing. I made a huge point to make sure to tell everyone. This is just based off of the movies that I've seen. I have not seen all of them because there's so many. There's no way you could watch all of them. There's no way.
There isn't.
No way.
I
Yeah.
remember back in the day though when the 8 Films to Die For series was popular. I don't know if you remember those or not.
Do remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
I kind of forgot about them though.
Those are things that I used to rent out like hotcakes back in the day. I used to
I
love
bet.
8 Films to Die For.
Yeah.
So
I think I have like a couple of those like on like DVD or something somewhere.
yeah.
I have a decent horror collection. Decent.
You know what? I wish that when I was working in performance studios back in the day, I wish I would have bought this clown because I would have gave it to you and Tracy.
There was a clown that was
It was a prop.
It was a prop clown, of course, and it was probably about maybe 4 foot tall, something like that. And it was
remote control.
And it was remote control, but it would be stationed near like where the employee lounge was at and everything. They would keep anytime you would see the door open or close or whatnot, it would be right there. And if anybody came anywhere near it, within like maybe 2 feet from it, this thing would go, "I used to make everyone laugh. Now they just die." It would just be over and over and over again. So, yeah.
It's awesome. Awesome. We have an animatronic clown. He stays up year round. He's not just a Halloween clown, and his name is Hugs. And he lunges out at you.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool. And he's got a sign that says "Free Hugs," and he's creepy as shit. I love him. Love him. Yeah, I love my animatronics. We started getting a lot of. We kind of started collecting them, and Tracy started using animatronics as props at his shows for three-legged circus shows.
Right.
The last one he got's a toy chest. When you open it up, it's got like a doll head and a clown, another crazy looking little toy, and they pop up and they're like, "I can eat you!" And the thing raises. It's the creepiest shit ever. So he puts that on stage as three-legged circus shows, and now he's got this clown that hangs on his microphone. Its tongue does like this, and it scares the shit out of people. It's the greatest thing ever. I think it's classic.
Did he just add that recently, or is he?
He did, yeah. He ordered it, and this clown was so expensive, but it looks so damn realistic. I know this one's just a face, but yeah, I think he's only had it at one of his shows.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Now, before we end the podcast, we're great to have you on here, Bridget. I gotta ask you. I'm gonna do like a little rapid fire with you.
Okay.
Michael or Jason?
Oh, easy, Michael. That was a hard question, but there's a reason why I go. For Michael on that one. Yeah.
What's the reason?
Oh, okay. So I'll show you my pictures. So I'm friends with Dag Fern, if you know him. He actually had this drawn for me, so it's half him. Dag Fern, he played Michael Myers as the kid in Rob Zombie's remake. So he had this made for me maybe like 4 years ago. So
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
That's
So yeah. You got any more? Let's go.
All right. Would you rather die would you rather die by a weapon, or would you rather get how would you like to die? What's the ultimate kill you would like to have in a horror film?
Ooh, that for me to die or me to kill someone?
How would you like to die?
Yes, you. How would you like to die?
Oh man, God, I could get real creative with this if I had enough time to think about it. But I don't know. But whatever it is, it has to have a lot of gore. You have to have a lot of gore. The more gore, the better. I love the gore. Love it.
So, like the scene from Terrifier 1 or 2, whatever, whichever one with the girls hanging upside down.
Yes.
That?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, something crazy gory like that. Yeah.
So now, who is your one dream horror director you would love to work with?
Well, gosh, that's freaking hard. Holy shit. Oh God, there's so many. George Romero, rest in peace. George Romero, God, he was really great. But there's so many good ones. Bloody Bill, he's another one. Circus of the Dead. That's why I was like, dude, that'd be like a dream come true if I could be on that film. It's really cool. And talking to him, he's like the coolest guy ever. Really cool guy. But that's a couple of them.
What's the one horror celebrity you met that you did not like?
Oh, a horror celebrity.
Or just like a horror world that you met that you just didn't care for.
Yeah.
Caroline Williams. You know who that is?
Wow, her?
Oh my God, bitch. Yeah. Like Tracy's like, oh my God, she's so nice to me. I'm like, yeah, it's because you're a dude. I was like, she was such a bitch to me. I'm like, for no reason. So yes. So sorry, Caroline, I put that out there about you, but you brought it on yourself. Just saying.
I have to say, one of the last times I went to the one horror convention, Danielle Harris is pretty much a bitch to me. She was a bitch to us.
Really?
Yeah, she
That's the
wasn't very
craziest
friendly at all.
thing to me.
She
Yeah,
wasn't
that's the craziest thing. I'm like, you're not supposed to be an asshole. If you're gonna be an asshole, don't work a horror convention, you know. But it's Caroline Williams. And this was years ago, but it was back when I was with my ex-husband, and my ex-husband's friends with Ben Dixon. So we were at the the Full Moon Tattoo and Horror Festival. We stopped to get something to eat at the hotel. It was crazy late. It's like 3:00 in the afternoon, so there was no one in there. And so we were having lunch, and Ben and his son came in, sat down with us, and then Caroline Williams and Sid Haig come in, and they ended up sitting with us. So I did have lunch with Sid Haig and Caroline Williams, but that's kind of like where I got to know her, and she was just really just rude, like almost like like I wasn't good enough to talk to her or something. That's the vibes I got off of her. Yeah.
What is the one?
That's a shame.
Oh, what is your biggest pet peeve when you go to a theater to watch a horror film? What's one of your biggest pet peeves at a movie theater?
People talking.
Thank you.
I'm like, I know there ain't no damn talkers up in here.
Actually,
Yes, that's so annoying. God, it's so annoying when people
one of
are
my
talking.
biggest
Like,
ones- one of my biggest ones is when people are on their cell phones and that bright light just literally you can see it emanating off of their the show. It's just emanating. You can see it. And you're just like, dude, can you put your fucking cell phone away?
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
When I went to go see Halloween Resurrection in theater, which I don't know why I spent the time to watch that.
You know,
movie.
I went to see it in theaters too.
But the theater decided to be nice and have someone dressed like Michael come in there. And these black ladies pretty much jumped on the chair and started running around screaming halfway during the movie. And you're like,
oh,
really? Look, yeah, they were scared to see Michael. They're like, oh my God, he's gonna kill me.
Like it's a movie. You can't jump through the screen.
in the theater?
Well, there was a guy dressed like Michael walking around.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, he didn't have a legitimate knife in his hands going like this, and he's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, people are weird." Okay.
Here we go. What bothers you about haunted attractions?
So I'm not a big haunt person. It's people automatically assume that I like going to haunts because I'm in a horror, but I don't like going to haunts. One, I don't like to be touched. I don't want anybody. I don't want to be touched by strangers in a haunted house. And I have it's like I don't like jump scares. I don't like jump scares at all because I have heart issues. So I don't want. I hate jump scares. They do nothing for me whatsoever. I'd rather watch an extreme horror movie that gets more in here than it makes you jump scared. You know.
What has been your favorite Halloween costume you've ever done?
Oh, my favorite probably would have to be Pennywise, just because I got so much, like so much credit off of that damn costume. It was the craziest thing. I pieced the whole damn thing together. It was like my female version of Pennywise. And like I did the whole teeth and everything. The whole damn costume cost me probably around like $400. But I got so much credit off of that. Like people still talk about that damn costume today. I won the scariest costume at this Halloween party we went to. If I go to a Halloween party, I shoot for the scariest costume. I'm not one of those chicks that wants to break out like the sexiest costume. I want the scariest costume.
Right.
You know, that's my thing. I'm like, and I'm like, if people don't know who I am, they don't recognize me because my costume's that good. That's a badass costume. So that's what I always try to go for. And Pennywise, like no one knew who I was. I had the red hair, had the orange eyes, and of course my face was all painted up, and the teeth probably the scariest. Those are the same teeth that I'm wearing in the short Klownin, the ones where the flesh gets stuck in my teeth.
Nice.
Yeah, they're legitimately sharp teeth. They actually, if I talk a lot in them, they'll start cutting to the corners of my mouth.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what's been your biggest pet peeve as far as just normal everyday life?
My biggest pet peeve with normal everyday life,
Yeah.
not talking about horror stuff.
No.
I'm thinking like all the drama with all the politics. Is it time to eat?
Bring yours.
Oh no, I'm coming out. It's dinner time for me.
Yeah, what about them?
Yeah, politics drives me nuts. It's turned into something.
Hey, hey.
Hey, she's saying, "Hey,
Hey. Politics.
you want to come? You want to come in here and say hello in your robe?"
Oh my.
Oh boy, here he comes.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh, there's that sexy dude.
He's making the dogs bark.
Rawr.
He's
Sebastian.
making the dogs bark. Sebastian's coming out. The dogs are like, ah. See what happens? Sebastian comes out and all hell breaks loose.
Right.
Sebastian gets hungry.
Yeah. Oh, so it is. Yeah.
Okay, so
We're just going over a few questions and I'll be there for dinner.
yeah, you'll be right
He
there.
said, "Merry Christmas,
See you
Happy
next
New
year."
Year."
Same
Merry
here.
Christmas, Happy
Same
New
to
Year.
you.
Oh man, I was going to tell him that the shitter was full, but that's okay. We're good.
Oh man, that would have been classic. Tracy, Kev was trying to tell you something. He was trying to tell you something. He said, "Wait a minute, he's coming. Dad's coming soon." Full. You can come in, you can see. Yes.
Merry Christmas. The shitter's full.
That's a good one.
He's like, "No, you should totally say that." The shitter's full.
That's what I put up on my Twitter this time.
Merry Christmas. Shitter's
I
full.
gave him a bidet for Christmas.
She really did.
I
I
did.
know.
I
I
got
saw. We saw about that.
Yeah, we saw that.
She did. She's always thought I was full of shit, so now she makes sure I take care of it.
Mhm. This is a good grade. He seems to like it.
Hey.
So here you go,
You
Bridget.
know?
This is a good
I'm
question.
all about the practical gifts, you know.
Just maybe one more.
Oh,
So
what?
she can go.
Yeah. The last one
Okay.
with your female clown character. What would be a celebrity you would like to kill and a politician you would like to kill?
Ooh. A celebrity I would like to kill. Let me answer the politician one first because that's easy. I'm probably gonna have to say Biden on that one. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We just gotta make sure Big Brother isn't listening too much.
It's for entertainment purposes.
FJB.
I
Sorry.
just said the very same thing a couple of days ago.
Oh.
The Secret Service is on his doorstep now.
Oh no shit. He's how'd you hear all that? He's like, better watch what you say, because who said that?
John Snyder.
John Snyder said it, and he said the Secret Service has been on his doorstep. So
Well,
Oh wow.
It's just entertainment purpose. That's all it is.
It's fine.
entertainment purposes only. Let's see. And a celebrity I would like to kill, male or female?
Both.
Maybe somebody, maybe I think it'd be cool to like somebody that I like. I'm gonna go, let's pick a female.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with a female that I'll legitimately like. I'm gonna go with Brigitte Marquardt. Do you know who that is? She was one of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends, and they had the show The Girls Next Door. But she's a huge horror nut. She's a huge horror nut, and she kind of has like the whole package. You know, she's like the hot blonde, but she loves her stuff. And hush, sorry, but yeah, Brigitte Marquardt. You got to look her up. She just started a podcast recently with Holly Madison. But yeah, I think it should be really cool to act with her. And do a kill scene with her. I think it'd be fun.
I'm gonna look right now.
As far as the guys go,
Ooh, a guy. Let's see. Mark Wahlberg, just because I think he's hot. And he's a good actor too.
yeah, Mel liked them in that. What's that one movie you like? The Shooter. You thought he was.
Yeah, Shooter. There's a
I
movie out
haven't
there.
seen that one. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you need to see that one. If you like
Man,
Mark
I'm trying
Wahlberg,
to think.
if you like
I'm
Mark
like-
Wahlberg, you need to see that one.
I'm like, has he been in any horror movies? Would you consider
No.
Fear a horror movie? It's not.
Really?
I don't think he's been in any horror movies. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Maybe a suspenseful or two, but that's about it. I mean, he doesn't
Yeah.
really do many. He doesn't. do
Yeah,
any-
you're right. That's really crazy. Really
Is
crazy.
there a female celebrity you would kill that you don't like?
Ooh, that I don't like. Ooh, Britney Spears. I just want to tell her to. I mean, she is just
Well, I'll be
crazy.
honest
She is still crazy. I read things about her. She is just crazy.
I
I've never liked her at
I
all.
just genuinely want to murder Taylor Swift. I'm gonna go out
All
there.
right,
and say,
I feel you on that. I feel you on. You know, the crazy thing is that people, because lives in Nashville, people used to mistake me for her all the time.
really?
I look like Taylor Swift.
You don't look
Like when
anything like Taylor Swift.
when she first came out, when she first kind of got big, it was probably about 2008. I drove a tent, like or was it like a champagne color Lincoln Navigator? And she drove a champagne color Lincoln Navigator. And I was at Homestyle Bakery in Antioch, and this old man come chasing me down. And I was in my Escalade, trying to leave the parking lot. I was thinking, oh my God, he's gonna tell me I have a flat tire or something. He's like, oh, can I have a autograph? I was like, I think you think I'm someone else. And he thought I was Taylor Swift. But I used to get that all the time. But I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all.
You know what you should have done? Sure, no problem. Here's an autograph for you. And just like, mark it off.
And it probably made his day. Probably made his day. What if you try to go like sell it? He needs some money and go try to go sell it, and there's a fake
I'll be more
autograph.
than happy to sign an autograph for you. What's your name? And
Yeah.
whatever.
I know
Yeah.
Mel wants to kill the Kardashians. That's,
Yeah, I'm
I
not a
they're
fan
on
of them
my top
either.
list, but they're not on my top, but they're whatever. I mean, they're not in the news as much as Tay Tay is.
It's just it is so
I'm just over
freaking
it.
extra.
I'm
So
just over
extra.
it. I really am.
Yeah.
now I heard the rumor she's going to be in Deadpool 3, and if she is, I hope Ryan Reynolds shoots her in the head. But that's just my hope to that. But we'll see.
I don't know.
But anyway, though, we're going to let you go ahead and get something to eat.
Okay.
We answered your
Yeah,
question.
thank you so much for having me on. And guys, go check out Klownin.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
got the
We're
link in
gonna
the description, right?
I'm gonna do some research on some of these different links for him to post, unless he can find them either way.
I already posted them in the
Oh, well, excuse me.
He's way ahead. He's
That's
on
ahead
it.
of me.
I post them in the description. Everybody go check out horror. go check out her
Her podcast.
Yeah, hardcore horror with Mike and Brigitte. Yeah,
There you go.
Check that out. They got a lot of good guests on there.
Yeah.
They are also on. You guys are on Spotify and what other?
Yeah, we're on all the platforms. We have a link tree so we're on pretty much everything. If you just Google hardcore horror with Mike and Brigitte, a whole list will pop up. There's a Facebook page as well. But yeah, you can pretty much find us on everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
And plus, any of you from Nashville, if you guys get a chance to, we will post for you and whenever for like a circus is performing, you guys can come to the show.
Yes.
It's a good show.
Good
It really
show.
is.
It is a good show. It's a good show, and you will actually get to meet Puddingtane. Puddingtane is she's one of my clown characters. She's my more sexy, fun clown character, but she's still a blast.
She's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
It's
for
just a
sure.
lot of pictures.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And and we'll tell you, we'll let you guys know when we do ours, and you guys will just have to wait and see on that one.
Yep.
Can't tell you about it more.
Nope.
Okay.
But anyway,
Awesome.
we appreciate you taking time out to talk to us, and we hope you and Tracy have a great New Year's.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, you guys too, and I guess I'll talk to you next year.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe sooner
Okay.
than
All right.
that. For now.
Maybe sooner than that.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.